Hey, what's up, y'all? I am out here right now testing out the brand new Rotolight Anova Pro 3. Super powerful light, and I was really curious because a lot of these LED lights, they talk about being able to use them outdoors, and you know what? If it works outside in Orlando, Florida on a very hot and sunny day, then I feel like it would pretty much work wherever. So I'm outside right now with our lovely model Katelyn, who you've seen many, many times on the channel, and we're testing out the new Anova Pro 3 with their smart softbox. So what I was curious about is I'm going to take some photos here. We're in the shade right now because it is blazing hot. However, various parts of the shot are actually being exposed by available light. So what we're wanting to do, and one of the challenges that you run into when you're shooting in these daylight environments, is that you'll basically have very bright highlights, and when you meter your camera for those highlights, your subject will end up being in shadow. And so good thing is we got the Anova Pro 3. We're going to turn that thing on and we're going to see if we can fill in those shadows in this daylight environment. All right, so first things first, just like we do when we're shooting with a strobe, we want to get a shot to see what the ambient light settings need to be. So right now, Anova Pro is not turned on, and I'm just going to use my camera settings to figure out what the exposure needs to be. Speaking of, by the way, Sony A7CR with the 50mm f2.5 G series lens. Love this combination. You'll see what the photos look like. Really nice and lightweight, especially for these outdoor shoots where it's blazing hot. You don't want to carry a bunch of heavy gear, heavy lenses. So let's see what our settings here need to be. I'm going to shoot these wide open just so that we can blow out the background. I also forgot to mention, I've also got a 10%. This is a Moment Cine Bloom diffusion filter on the front. It's just going to make the highlights kind of glow a little bit. You'll see what that looks like in the final image. Those settings right now, I'm at f2.5, ISO 100, and let's see what our shutter needs to be. So, all right, so this shot is at a shutter speed of 1/1000th of a second. And again, what we're doing here is I have the lowest available ISO that is native to the camera, lowest aperture so that we can blow out the background. And then I'm adjusting my shutter speed to control my ambient. So I'm at 1/1000 to keep the highlights from blowing out. Now, the moment of truth. We're gonna see what that looks like. So let me turn it off really quick. And so that's what the available light looks like right now. And this is now with the light turned on. And this is at 100%. This is going through the smart softbox, so it is gonna give you a little bit of a softer light, but we could actually go even softer with this light. So let's take a few shots as is. This is with no diffusion. Very nice. And it just does a really good job of just lighting Katelyn while at the same time preserving the highlights that are in the background. Very nice. And then let's take the diffusion on the smart softbox and we'll bring it up to this up to the max, bring it up to 100. So now we were looking at the hardest setting on the softbox, and this is the softest setting. And what I noticed right away, which is kind of crazy, usually you would need multiple light modifiers to go from like a hard light to a soft light. What's really crazy about this thing is you put this on there and you could basically, by twisting your dial, go from a hard light to a soft light. And essentially in this situation, what it's doing is it's softening the shadows on Katelyn's face. So if you want to see what this looks like, let's put the camera on Katelyn and I'll show you what that looks like. So let me see, this is the brightness. All right, so right now this is at the softest setting and that's at the hardest setting. And so what you're wanting to look at is the shadow areas of the face. So you're going to notice this is the hardest setting right now. You're going to get a little bit of a harder shadow detail on the face, especially underneath the chin. And as I go to the softest setting right now, you're going to see that those shadows kind of smooth out a little bit. So even though we're in daylight and we're in bright sun, we could still get a hard or a soft light setting using the Anova Pro 3, which is pretty sweet. All right, take a couple more photos here. Let's play with our angles a little bit and see what we get here. Using that f2.5 to kind of play around here with our depth of field. Here we go. Let me change our, I'm gonna go back to the hard light again. Or sorry, go back to our soft light. There we go. Very nice. And our daylight here is changing, so I'm gonna change my settings just a little bit. Love that. Oh, this is beautiful. Awesome. And I've got my drive mode on continuous as well. Sometimes when you're shooting in available light and the person you're photographing, they may not know when you're actually taking a photo. Maybe they don't hear the shutter, because in this case we have an AC unit that's like right next to us. So if I shoot in like a low burst continuous, I'll make sure that I get the shot. Very nice. Love that. You could definitely overpower your available light using the Anova Pro 3. Obviously, if you play around with your settings, you could probably do this where you're not at full power. I actually found another spot that I was shooting at, and I was able to fill in the shadows, and I was only at like 50% power on the Anova Pro 3, which is very impressive. Being here in Orlando, Florida as well, it's water resistant. It's very cool because sometimes in Orlando, Florida, you get these like freak storms where it starts to rain, and normally if you're shooting with available light, not a problem, but your shots they're not gonna look so great. If you're shooting with a strobe, it's game over. You gotta get the strobes out because it's gonna catch fire, probably blow out circuits. What's great with this is it's water resistant. So if it starts to rain, no problem. We just keep on shooting, and that's something that's pretty cool. All right, everybody, so let me know what you think about these shots. Let me know what you think about the lights in the comment section below. I think they're a very cool option for you to be able to shoot with a constant light outdoors and kind of fill in those shadows. And also that smart softbox to go from a hard to a soft light is pretty sweet. So let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. And by the way, I've got a lot of really great videos with various portrait tips here on my channel. This is one that I think that you would enjoy, so go ahead and check that out, and I'll see you in the next video.